centrally located. The ticket number, we'll start with the first one, is Echo.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I've missed you guys. Welcome to Beema's Crafty Corner. I am Beema, better known as Els, and I have been on a scavenger. That's right. 5 days and 4 glorious nights trapped in a car with a 17-year-old. Yay! Kidding. I had a great time with my granddaughter. It was kind of neat because I taught her some of the things that I know about resale, and she's getting into the resale business.
That's where I thought you would say.
Clothes, but she's getting into the resale business, and I was just over the top excited about that. Do I need to move this stuff so you can get up here and say hello? Okay, I'll move my stuff and clean the desk off for you real quick, and then you can come up and say hello, and then we can get on to the business of showing people what we found. Well, what I found. You weren't there. No, you weren't there because you don't like to be in the car.
I'll just give you the last four of the rest of the I got 2220.
Hi, baby.
2236.
Hi, baby. Yeah, I know. You haven't seen any of your friends for days. Well, they haven't seen you. It's been a whole week since you've had some star time, huh? Arlene says hi. Yes. Hello, Miss Arlene. Hello to anybody else who's in the room. I see that there's 3 looky-loos. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, what a trip. I'm going to leave you guys with Harry for a second. I'm going to go grab a soda. I'll be right back.
I'm assuming it's some sort of outage, that kind of deal.
Okay. I'm back. I'm back. See, there's the soda. Here's my cup. This is me putting some soda in the cup. Oh, guys, I got to tell you, what a trip.
Sure. No, I understand. Do what you got to do, man.
Let's talk about the trip before I show you guys what I found.
Yeah.
First off, I am very glad to be home and alive. Get down. Go on, down. So, hello, Miss Arlene. Hello, Miss Gypsy. Hello to everybody else. Wow. Just wow.
Yesterday morning.
So we get in the car. We left here at about 9:30. I had a full tank of gas before I even got in the car, so that was good. We had everything loaded. Hello, Miss Tammy. Hello, Mari.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they didn't do that in the first
place.
Why would you not?
Sorry, I'm chewing on a nut.
Okay. So,
I haven't eaten cashews the whole time I've been gone because it's not something nice in the car. Oh, he's back. So we left and we took off and we got to Mesquite. It was about 9:45 or so, but when we pulled out of the driveway, we got to Mesquite, which is my first stop. It's always my first stop because there's a little thrift store there that's rather inexpensive, but you have to get there early enough in the day because one of the people that works there is a crafter, and she goes through before they open the store, and she picks out all the stuff she wants and puts it on the counter, and then you can't buy it. Yeah. So, and I complained about it in the past, and I don't think she's there anymore. But we got there and we looked around. Now, Mesquite's kind of an older town. It's like a retirement community more than anything else. So there wasn't a whole lot of stuff that Shaylee was looking for, but she found a couple of bags, really cute. One was like flat chainmail, like the little linked metal stuff, and it was a Union Jack on the front, so she really loved that with a chain. It was really cute, and then a little bag that was like a little canvas bag kind of thing, and it had like a really heavy military strap on it. She really loved that one, so she was happy. I didn't really find anything there.
4 hours?
I think I found like a stencil. That was it.
Yeah.
So, but she slept between here and there, and we got there and we pulled in. It was about 10 minutes to 11, give or take. And she's like, haven't we left Vegas yet? And I'm like, honey, we are in Mesquite. She's like, no. I was like, yeah, we are. She's like, no, you're lying to me. Like, yeah, I took the time to reset the clock so that you would think that we've been on the road for just over an hour. And so we did a little quick shopping there in Mesquite and filled the car up just to make sure. We still had over 3/4 of a tank, but if I'm stopped, I'm going to put gas in it, you know? That's kind of the rule. If there's a gas station and I've stopped, we're putting gas in the car. I have AAA, I have AARP, I have, you know, all the stuff. So that's not a big deal. I mean, if I run out of gas, I run out of gas, but they charge you like $20 a gallon if they have to bring it to you. Hi, Christine. So moseyed on down the road, and our next stop is one of my favorites. And you guys know I've been there a few times just to run up and go. Like I'll go to Mesquite and then go up to St. George, and that'll be my whole trip. And I'm usually home that night. So I went to St. George and I went in there, and oh my God, guys, I got some great stuff in St. George, and I'll show it to you later. From St. George, we drove up into Cedar City. We stopped in Cedar City. We got some decent stuff in Cedar City. Shaylee found some shirts she really liked. And so everybody was happy. And we moved on down the road. Now, we got to the 70 exchange, and I told her, I said, we can either go through Colorado or we can go up through Salt Lake. I said, but I'd really like to come back through Colorado because I want it to be daylight when we go through the Rocky Mountains. And she was like, okay, whatever. So we went into Salt Lake, and we went to all the little towns around Salt Lake, because Salt Lake City is like a huge city, but it has like all these little suburb towns around it. So we went and did all of those. And we hit the bin store, and she found some things in the bin store she really liked. And then I found her a jacket that she absolutely loved. And I found some great stuff there, and I'm going to show it to you guys. You guys are going to love this stuff. But I found some great stuff there. And the thing about the bin stores is it's by the pound. So it's cheaper than buying from the store. And some of this stuff doesn't even go into the stores, if that makes sense. Like it never makes it there. It's like a big bulk donation, and they're like, okay, we'll just put it in the bins. So we got some really great stuff. I was walking around carrying like 4 bags in there, and Shay had like 2. And then we went to NPS, which you guys know I've talked about before. It's a nice place to shop. And what they do is they just basically sell Amazon returns. And things like, you know, like things like that get shipped from like Amazon and other companies that get returned. They buy the pallets, and then they sell the stuff off in the stores. And this was the second one we went to. Went to the first one. They're only in Utah. We went to the first one. There really wasn't a lot there, but at the second one we found some stuff. And we decided to leave Salt Lake. And as soon as we turned on the Interstate 80, which is a big turn out of Salt Lake, it began to pour, and it rained for the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
Carla! Yeah. It's really pretty around it.
Yeah.
You know, Provo. We actually stayed in Provo. Provo is beautiful. Gold Valley is pretty. I mean, there's some really beautiful outer laying areas. Salt Lake City is, with the exception of a little area around the main temple up there, it's kind of, very industrial. But you have to remember, all of the MLMs are up there. All those multi-level marketing companies like LaLaRue and the One Jewelry one, and Herbalife, and those are all up there. That's where they come from. That's where they all organized, because Utah doesn't have multi-level marketing laws. They don't have pyramid laws there. So that's where those companies all incorporate, and they're all Mormon run. So, hi, Miss Jessie. So yeah, so it's not fantastic, but then you have to think about Shay, okay? So we're up there, and we're in Salt Lake, and she's wearing what basically equates to a pair of pants where the pockets have been cut in half and they've been cut off there, and she's like some roughly lace on it, with a pair of fishnet stockings, boots that come up to her knees, a longer t-shirt, and cotton candy pink hair. Okay? Yeah. So there were a lot of looks, because most of the people up there wear cowboy boots, jeans, and, shirts that cover everything. Yes, Paparazzi. That is the name of the company. Yeah, those are all multi-level marketing companies. And if you don't know what they're about, put multi-level marketing into your search engine on YouTube, and it will bring you up a bunch of stuff like LuLaRoe and all of that stuff, where those companies implode and where people are struggling. If you're selling that stuff, the only way you're making money is by making other people sell that stuff. It's a pyramid scheme. Yeah, MLM should be outlawed across the board. But, they're not. So we left there, and it rained. It rained so much I almost turned around. It was that heavy. But, I've lived in the desert. I've driven in monsoons enough to know how to handle it. So she went to sleep, which thank goodness she did, because if we did have an accident, at least she would have been asleep, and so she would have been fully relaxed, and she would have had less injury. Yeah, she was not an LDS approved looks, that's for sure. But we went on down the road, and it cleared up a little bit, and we stopped in a couple of little towns along the way. And we hit up a couple of stores. Some I've had, I've been to before, and I've had some luck there. Some I haven't. Pulled into Laramie. Now, she's been trying to find these specific pants. Only she's not telling me what they are. She's describing them. So we pull into Laramie, and it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. She was a little tired. So she said she was going to stay in the car. And I said, okay, fine. She was talking to her friend on the phone. I said, okay, fine. I'm going to go in and shop. So I went in, and I didn't really find anything crafty. I did find a bunch of clothes. And being a big girl, finding clothes is hard. And with the fact that, I'm gaining and losing weight right now, because I'm trying to lose weight. And so I'll lose 10 pounds and put 3 or 4 back on, and then I'll lose another 5 pounds and put on a pound. And so I'm kind of, because I'm doing it very naturally. And overall, I've lost 30 pounds, 35 pounds now. But I got back in the car. I had 2 bags of stuff, nothing really crafty, some tchotchke stuff, and some clothes and things. And I knew one thing that she was looking for, which were these shoes that she wanted, very specific shoes. And I got back in the car, and we book on down the street to the other end of Laramie where our hotel is. We checked in, and went and got some food. This hotel check-in was a pain in the butt. We checked in. She gave us a fantastic room, handicap parking right outside the door, ground level, fantastic. Opened up the door, 2 dogs in the next room that are reactive. So every time Shaylee took a step in the room, they barked. And you could hear the lady going, shh, shh, be quiet. Shaylee would take a step and they'd start up again. And I said, we're not going to do this. Because when we travel, I'm up till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. It's the only time when I'm traveling. It's the only time I watch TV. But, you know, I'll watch TV just to kind of unwind and relax before I can go to sleep. Because I'm still, you know, otherwise I still feel like I'm in the car, you know. So went back to the office. She changed our room. The only problem with that room was that Shaylee couldn't open the door no matter how hard she tried. It was swollen or something, and it was just jammed. You just couldn't get it to pull open. And when you closed it, you literally had to hip check it. But I figured at least that way nobody was coming in without us knowing. So we stayed there. Shay got some food and got up in the morning. We hit a couple of more stores that I know of that are in that area. And we booked down the street. I taught her how to book a hotel because I book all my hotels through booking.com. They have my credit card information and everything. And all you basically have to do is put in the CRV and it'll book the room. So I taught her how to do that. Right. And so she booked a room and we got off the freeway, and it was a pain in the ass to get to it, like, because it was off of a different freeway and it was in Denver, like one of the suburbs. And like we had to go this way and then that way and then back up this way and around that way. You know, we almost got rear-ended because the kid behind me was texting and not paying attention, and the light turned red and I stopped and he almost hit me. And I was like, okay, you know, can't get any worse. We get to the hotel. They do not have my reservation. It is a 3-story hotel with no available rooms on the ground floor and no elevator. Their elevator is out. It's been out since October. I know this because there's a notice on the counter that says, to our valued guests, we apologize for any inconvenience, and it's dated in October. So the guy at the desk, instead of like going to booking.com and finding my booking, he's like, well, you have to call booking.com. So I went outside. It was a 30-minute wait minimum. It took us 45 minutes to get somebody on the phone. We finally get him on the phone. And I wouldn't have cared. I would have just canceled the reservation, except that this hotel had a no cancellation policy, which means if you cancel and they get that reservation later, they can charge me for the room. And it was like $75 plus taxes and everything else. So you're talking $100 for the room. And I'm not going to let somebody charge me $100 on my credit card for something I'm not getting. So I had called hotels.com and I was like, first off, the hotel advertises as being ADA compliant. They do not have an elevator. Therefore, they are not ADA compliant. I am disabled. That's one. Two, they can't even find my reservation. I'm not paying for this room. You fix this. So she managed to call the hotel. The guy was like, oh, no problem. You put in the waiver for it and we'll give back the money because we don't have any ground floor rooms and we don't have an elevator and da 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 da. Well, it should not be allowed to be listed as ADA. There's no way in hell I'm carrying luggage and a cooler up 3 flights of stairs. I just can't. And Shaylee weighs 80 pounds, soaking wet, fully dressed. Okay. So we got that. And I booked another hotel and we went down the road and we went to this other hotel, which was not in a great area. Like, it was very industrial, but the hotel was fantastic. And the desk clerk was exceptional. I got there and she's like, as soon as I walked in, and she said, you have a reservation? And I said, yes. And I went to say my name and she went, oh, I've got your room. I got your message. Ground floor. I've got you set up. Booking says there was some kind of issue. Are you okay? Is there some room issue with the hotel? I was like, no, it was a previous one. I told her the whole story. She goes, oh my God, here, let me give you some vouchers to get breakfast in our diner in the morning. And let me get you a room. See that door right back there? I said, yeah. She goes, I'm going to put you there. There's parking right outside. And the room is literally right inside the door. And I went, fantastic. The room was great. It was literally right there. We went to open the door and the key wouldn't open the outside door. She ran down the hall to hold the door open for us and help us get into the room. And then she says, "Is everything okay in the room?" And I said, "Yeah, it's fantastic." She's like, "Well, you let me know if you need any extra towels or anything. We're going to make this work." And it was exceptional. It was quiet. It was wonderful. It was right there. She even gave us some local food recommendations that we could get to for dinner very quickly because their diner was closed. Just fantastic customer service. I cannot say enough about that lady. She was just very over the top. And we got up the next day, and I went to the Creative Reuse. Their prices are more than full retail right now. I'm sure that has to do with them having to pay rents and stuff. But I didn't get a lot at the Creative Reuses because both of them that I know of that are there, that I've been to in the past on several occasions, their prices were stupid. Like they wanted like $5 for used acrylic stamps, $10 for used acrylic stamps. And I was like, no, that's like way over full retail. So we left there, and I told Shay, I said, listen, we went to a Goodwill and a couple other places. I said, listen, I've got this thrift store. They are hit or miss as far as like quality of stuff. She goes, well, what do you mean? I said, well, sometimes rich people will donate to it because it's a charity, and it's not like Goodwill, like a national charity. It's a smaller charity. They work in the community. Sometimes they just get crap. She goes, well, let's try it. And we went in there. She pulled up about 6 pairs of pants. Like boom, 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 pulled them. And I was like, looking at them, and I was like, you know, the store you didn't go into? She goes, yeah. I said, they had a whole rack of these. Like they got like, I don't know, like a crate of them or something. They had like literally a round rack of these pants. She was like, what? I said, yeah. She goes, we're not going back. She goes, why didn't you tell me? I said, because I didn't know what brand you were looking for. If you had told me the brand names, I would have looked. Well, she ended up getting like 5 or 6 pairs of pants there. She found 2 pairs of shoes that were fantastic and over the top that she can resell. But we still hadn't found the shoes, the ones she's after. Yeah. So she got a bunch of stuff. And by this point, she had bought like a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here and a little bit there. She had about $250 on her card, on her credit card. And they declined her card. So I was like, how much you got on here? And it was like, the sale was like $35-40. And she said, well, I thought I had about $50. I figured, okay, maybe she's a couple of bucks off. So here, can you split the payment? I gave them $10. They rang it up, still declined. I gave them another $10. Finally went through. She apparently had forgotten that she had bought snacks or something. So she called her mom, and her mom said that she was going to put $100 in her account so that she had money for the rest of the trip. And I mean, it's not, you know, I'm feeding her, I'm paying for the hotels, I'm paying for the gas. And, you know, I'm paying for stuff occasionally when I like, when I see her walk up, she's got arms full of stuff. I'm like grabbing a few things and ringing those up myself. And, but she did really good. I mean, she only spent like $300, $325 on the trip, and she got like 7 or 8. She got like a whole suitcase full of clothes. And a lot of that she can resell, and the pants and the shoes and stuff that she did get, she can resell for $50 to $100 a pair. So, and she only paid like $5 to $6 for them. So she's making good money. So we did that, and I said, are you kind of over Denver? She goes, yeah, I am. I said, all right, we'll go ahead and we'll start heading home. It was only 11 o'clock. So I knew we were going to go through the Rockies in the daylight. It was the only time in the trip she stayed awake for the whole thing. And it was just ooh and ah the whole way. Oh my God, look at that. That's so gorgeous. Look at the sun coming through there. Oh, it's beautiful. She stopped. She wanted to stop. So we stopped, and she took pictures, and there were longhorn sheep all over the place and deer running across the road. And at one point we even saw a bear down on the thing. And she goes, stop. I said, I'm not stopping. There's a bear down there. We're not stopping. So we came through. She went through tunnels for the first time. She's never been through tunnels. There's like 5 of them coming back through the Rocky Mountains. And so we got to go through the tunnels, and she had a great time. She was wide awake for this, but I got to tell you, it was still raining. It literally rained until we got back to the Nevada border. So we stayed in a town up there that I've stayed in before. It's a cute little town. We went to a couple of thrift stores, and she still didn't find the shoes. And I said, where else can we get these shoes? She said, well, we can get them at Ross. I said, well, see if there's a Ross. So she goes, yes. We go to Ross. We walk in, and we're doing the same thing we always do. We walk in the door. She goes to the men's shoes. I go to the women's shoes to look for these shoes because apparently they can be men's or women's. They're exactly the same. Okay. And so she goes to the men's, and it's like men's and kids. And I go over here to the ladies' shoes, and I walk around the corner, and I see a pair of them. Not the pair she wants, but the brand.
Yes, I am.
So I grab them, and I throw them in the basket. And I'm looking at them going, these are going to be too small. And I go down like 2 more lanes, and I see another pair, and I grab those. And I'm like, I don't know. So she comes over, and she's like, they don't have any. I said, you mean other than these? What? Okay. The first pair she pulls out, which was the second pair I pulled, she put them on. They fit her perfectly. She's like, oh my God, oh my God. So she went up. She bought them. She was so ecstatic. But now we need these chunky, fat shoelaces that go in these things, and they come with regular shoelaces. And she doesn't like those, and that's not the style. And so we have to. So okay. So I'm asking the girl at the counter there at Ross. I found a really nice jacket for Hubbard too. So I'm asking this lady at Ross where I can get these shoelaces. She goes, well, there's a mall right down the street, and I think there might be a couple of places in there. I said, okay. So we go down, and we pull into the mall, and the first thing we see is this shoe store. And I was like, it's like a shoe warehouse, like a DSW, but it's not a DSW. So we go in, and we're looking around. We don't see them. So she asks somebody, and the lady goes, this is all we have, and they're just the little thin ones. They're colored, but they're just the thin ones, and that's not what she wants. And she goes, well, there's a Zoomies here, and some other shoe store. I remember Zoomies because it's Zoomies, and the doggies get the Zoomies. And so we go to leave, and I said, do they have the shoes that you want here? And she goes, I don't know. So she starts to walk over to the men's shoes, and we walk over there, and she's like, no, they don't have what I'm looking for. And I said, well, what about in the ladies? So we go over there, and they're like big things like this, and she goes to this side, and there's a pair there, but they're pink and they're suede, and she doesn't want them. She's like, no, I don't want the suede ones. I want the other ones. I said, and I turned around, and I said, you mean like those over there? And they were on the other side of the aisle. And she walks over, and she goes, those are the exact shoes. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, your mom, because she had already said that her mom was going to order them for her. I said, if your mom's going to order them, you should try them on and make sure that you get them in the right size. She goes, oh, well, I wear a 7. And I said, okay. So we pulled a 7, and she put it on. And there's only one shoe in each box. That's how they keep the shoes from disappearing. And so she puts her foot in, and she goes, oh, this is really tight and too small. She has very narrow, tiny feet. And I said, well, let's try another size. So we went a half size up. She goes, oh, she stands up. She goes, these are perfect. I said, see, if your mom had ordered them, you would have gotten the wrong size. So now we know what size they are. She goes, yeah, now I know. So when I get home, mom can order them, and I can get them, and, I'll pay mom back for them. And I said, okay. So she takes the shoe off, and she's got this look on her face, and a sales girl walked by, and I went, can the other shoe drop? She goes, oh yeah, I'll go get it for you. My granddaughter turned 12 different shades of color, jumped up and down, and acted like a 4-year-old because Bima bought her racing new shoes, Zoom Zoom shoes. We went and got some shoelaces. She got in the car. Instantly, she's bent over, unlacing the old laces, putting in the new laces, getting the new shoes on her feet.
The first thing she said to me, not hi, how you doing? Happy to see you. No, thank you for the new shoes you just bought me.
Yeah. So I told her, I said, these are on Pop, and I put them on Pop's magic red card. And she was like, oh my God, these are so not expensive, because apparently these shoes, they sell online for like $120, $130. And they're not guaranteed to be new. They're some of them are used, and they sell them for that much because they're very hard to find. And honestly, the store that we found them in, they only had them in 4 sizes, and they were all small. They were like 6.5, 7, 7.5, and an 8. That was it. So I paid less than $70 for them. And so, yeah, she got older. She hasn't grown up. Trust me. There were 12-year-old boy moments. Let me tell you. But she got her shoes, and as soon as we got home, the car wasn't even turned off. She jumped out, ran over to her Pop and said, "Thank you for the shoes." And Pop's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like pulling her pants up, showing him the shoes, and doing the little happy dance with him and everything. And
yeah.
it was ridiculous.
Whatever it would cost, it was worth it.
Just to see her that damn happy.
Yeah.
So then we got back in the car and drove the rest, towards home. Got to the exchange, got off, and I got to what's called the Virgin River Gorge. Now, if anybody remembers, my son-in-law shot himself in the leg about a year ago. That was on the Virgin River Gorge. This thing is like a winding road. You actually cross the Virgin River 11 times. And you kind of go up, and then you go down into from Utah into Nevada. And we were coming down, and I was in the fast lane. And I saw a car, what looked like a car was coming up pretty quick behind me. So I said, well, let me go ahead and change over because I'm not going to speed going through here. If it says 55, I do it at 50 because I know the turns on this thing. And you can see the black up on the sides. And they have those barriers, those concrete barriers. And above the concrete barriers, they have a 2-foot chain, like a chain fence. So you're looking at about a 5.5 foot divider between the two sides of the highway, but they run right next to each other. I don't know what grown up is, Arlene. I really don't. So I'm driving and I see this car and it looks like it's coming up pretty fast behind me. And I said, you know what? This guy's an idiot. I'm going to get out of the way. And I turn to see if there's somebody in the outside lane and turn on my turn signal. And I start to move and I hear this loud pop, like a shotgun going off. And then I hear the chain link and it rattles. And I look back as a tire is coming off the top of the chain. And I swerved. It hit the rear quarter panel underneath by the bumper of the back of my car. And then bounced off the side of the highway. And I'm full on brake, swerve back into the lane. Shaylee's like, what? I said, you didn't see that flying tire? It almost killed us. She went, no. And then about a minute later, you had highway patrol and fire trucks and ambulances and everything coming up the other side. Somebody apparently, that tire flew off of somebody's car and popped up, hit the top of the chain, bounced onto my side of the road and bounced down into the gorge. And if I had slowed down or sped up, if I had sped up to get out of that guy's way to try and go faster, it would have come right through the windshield of my car. Rim and everything, it was all there. And it hit hard. I didn't kind of process that until I got home because I didn't want to do that in front of my granddaughter. But my sugar immediately dropped. So when I got home last night after we were in the house and Shaylee was in the bathroom and I was outside and Pop came out, that's when I lost it. That's when I broke down. And my daughter showed up shortly then after, and I told her what happened, and she went out and she found the scuff marks underneath the tire, underneath the back end of the bumper. She goes, yeah, you're lucky. She goes, that would have killed both of you. And if it had come through the windshield, it would have killed both of us. Because it was, and Shaylee didn't understand that. I was like, it's astrodynamics. She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, you have a car traveling at about 75, 80 miles an hour going one way. And you have a car traveling at about 65, 70 miles an hour going the other way. And this item crosses over into this lane. Now it's like 200 miles an hour impact. The windshield won't withstand that. The windshield is designed for small things. Now she kind of understands it. Yeah, it's scary as crap to see it happen. And it literally, and like when I pulled over to check my sugar, I kind of had to get myself together. So I called Huber on the phone, and I sent Shaylee into the store to get me a soda to help get my sugar back up. And this guy who was in a Jeep pulled in, and he comes over to my side of the car and he goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You know that hit the back of your car." I said, "I know." He goes, "But you did beautiful." He goes, "I've never seen anybody drive like that." I said, "You don't understand. I got the most precious thing in the world in this car." And he just kind of looked at me, and I said, "It's my granddaughter. She's inside." He goes, "I get you. I get you." And I looked over, and he had pictures of his grandkids on the visor of his Jeep. He goes, "Well, I'm just glad you guys are safe." He says, "I saw you pull over, and I wanted to make sure that everything was okay." I said, "We're good, man, but thank you." But it was terrifying. And then we drove the rest of the way home. And when I got here, I kind of lost it with hubby in the backyard last night. So
much better now.
yeah. You don't lose your shit until you're because you don't want to do it in front of your kids, because you know that if you do it in front of your kids, then they're going to lose their shit, and then you got to try and get them calm, and you can't show that, and this is Shay. This is the one that made me a grandma. She made me the Bima, and she's got half my heart in her chest, and so when she's upset, I get even more upset because my baby's upset, and so. But we made it home in one piece. It was fantastic. And I got here, and the first thing I did when I sat down, because Michelle had texted me yesterday. She goes, "Okay, well," when I said I was heading home, she texted me, and she's like, "I hope you guys had fun. I'm praying for you to get home safe." So when I got home last night, I was like, "The prayers worked. Thank you." And he is not leaving me alone because mommy's been gone for 5 days, and he doesn't like that. Huh. I love you. Come on, I'll give you some treats.
That's why he loves you. You're bugging me. Here's some treats.
I know. That's how come he's so fat, because he annoys me. There you go. For you. There you go. All right, so let's show you guys what you came for, what you want to see. So I got these. This was my last stop coming home. I stopped at the thrift store, and then I stop on it again on my way home. These are from Bridgerton. And they're supposed to be like utensil holders, but I thought, if you fold this down, this is a cute little card, We all know the show, right, from Netflix, Bridgerton. So they're really for, putting your silverware in. But I thought, if you fold these down or you put them in a journal, that's cute, right? So I grabbed those. There's not a lot of them in the package, and I'm not going to sell the package. I think what I'm going to do is do these as a thank you gift giveaway for the next sale. And then I found these, and I have a shitload of envelopes, let's be honest, okay? But I love these. And, of course, they use tape, so the first one's crap. I have to tell you, there was a lid to this box, too. It was on the bottom. But look at these. And, the texture is very creamy to this paper. And they are a beautiful almost 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at how fantastic. And I thought, could you see that as an envelope journal? I could. So I grabbed those. And then I saw this. This was not there when I went the first time. It was there when I went the second time. And we're going to give it a little shot here. I'm going to grab a piece of paper. It does not have the guard, okay? But it cuts nice. It is an X-Acto piece, and this is what I liked. Ready? How cool is that? It is 6 by 9, so it's a good size. And because it's X-Acto, it's got some weight to it. So I grabbed that. Figured a couple of bucks, Let's see, what else did we find? My God, guys. I have a whole thing. I found a little paper crimper, a little one, you know, like a little handheld one. Put that there. Put that there. You know what? When you put it there, you may want to turn this in the right direction. Hold on. I need 2 hands. Okay, put the paper in the crimper. So it works really good, and it's really light because it's smaller. This is from Westcott, and it's smaller, and I like that. And then I found these. And these, let's see, we've got basic black. What the hell does that say? I don't know. Where is my magnifier? 'Cause I am old and blind. Glorious green. Handsome hunter. I think that's basic black. Ruby red. Forest foliage. Brilliant blue. These are all retired Stampin' Up! Colors, but they're weird looking, right? Yeah, I know. I'll explain that in a minute. Let me grab those. Haha, this bag. Okay, so what they are is they fit into these, and these are roller stamps from Stampin' Up! Called Stampin' Around. And so I got the cartridges that fit right in here. That's what those little cartridges do. They fit right in there, and they ink the stamp as you roll it. So for card makers and stuff, it's fantastic. And I was like, okay. So I also found a couple of boxes of their rollers. And these are discontinued. This one is like just the alphabet. Actually, it says happy birthday. That one says happy birthday. This one is like butterflies and flowers, it looks like. This one is just leaves. Like they're all different, you know? And so I got a couple of sets. This one's like, I don't know. Oh, they're like clothes on a clothesline. Some more leaves. You got some stars, some like snowflakes. This is another written. No, that's not written. It's just like a background, like gauze background or something. Anyway, I got a couple of packs of these that go with this and all those inks. Yes, they have the clip-on rolling stamper thingy. Yes. So we got those. I found another crimper. This one's the Fiskars one. Put the paper in. Then you squeeze the handle. And then it gives you that like corrugated paper look. I love that. So I grabbed another one of those. When I travel, I take a box full of these bags with me. And the reason I do is because they're square. And I can make like soft-sided boxes out of them. So I had a bunch of these in the car. And sometimes I buy them too, you know. But they're they last, and I can make little boxes out of them and shove them into where they need to be. So I have a lot of these bags right now. So what did I get at the Creative Reuse? Not much. This is what I bought at the Creative Reuse. This is Stampin' Up. These are like double-sided tape, but they're strips and they're very narrow. I think these are 1/8 of an inch, but they're foam adhesive. And there's 2 packs in each one of them for $1. So I grabbed those. I found this embossing folder, which I kind of liked because it just embosses down the one side. And I bought that. And this one, which is Happy Hello. And it is, there's components in here to make 8 cards. And it comes with all the stuff. And I bought that. So that was what I bought. And then I donated $10 to the Creative Reuse. I'm not big on books. We all know this. But the Encyclopedia of 2-Hour Craft Projects, I was like, let's take a look in here. So I was thinking maybe we could find some stuff in here to do, like some projects for holidays and stuff. Look at all this stuff. And some of it's not, and some of it, okay, it's fabric stuff, but we can translate it into paper. You know what I mean? Or other things like home decor and stuff. So I grabbed this. I always do. But you know what? Hey, those are huge. Look at those. But I always grab these things because they, sometimes they have really great ideas in them, base ideas that I can use to expand to make other things, to do other things. So I grabbed all of this stuff. Grab this because look at this. Look at that. Where is it? I just saw that. That was gorgeous. There. Redoing some shades for your house with things we already have, So I thought that would be cool. That would be fun. We could do some stuff out of there. And I will take a look, and see if there's anything in here we can do. If not, it's a great little book. And I think I paid $1 for it because it was, I didn't even pay that much for it. This was from the bins, And then I found this. And I thought it was cute. Yeah. So I was like, this is so cute. And it's beat to crap, like half of it's missing, but I was like, I can redo this. So I grabbed that. Now I got this at one of the thrift stores. And this isn't really for us kind of to say, but this stuff, it sells well in my Etsy shop. It's got just a few pieces of paper in it. It's got the stickers. It's got the sheets, which I will put this in there. So, it comes with the bonus stickers. But because it's Tinkerbell for scrapbooks, it sells really well in the store. And for the price that I got it for, I can make a decent little profit on this. So I grabbed it. Night, honey. I'll see you later. All right. And then I got some of this stuff from the bin shop. This was from the Creative Reuse. This is a perpetual birthday calendar kit. And this is like one of their paper pumpkin kits from Stampin' Up. So I grabbed that because it was just slightly less than full price. And then I got these. Now I got, like I said, I got these out of the bins. So this is a cinch album kit. So it comes with 2 covers, 2 white chipboard dividers, 6 clear acetate pages, a veneer woodward, watercolor papers, and a cinch coil is in there. And that's so that you can, yeah, it's right there. So that you can make a book out of this with the cinch or any other binding, binder that you have, binding machine you have. So you can use this. You can use this with the cinch, but you can also use this if you have the cinch it all, bind it all, and all of that stuff. then you can use this as well. And I got a bunch of these that were in the bin shop. And then I found this. This was in the bin shop. And this is another one. It's just a bigger version. So I grabbed those because they sell as well. And then I saw this. And I grabbed this out of the bins. See, I consider this saving. You know, I'm saving stuff from the bins. So this is, it's a hole puncher. But so you load that in. Then you take the piece of paper and you put the piece of paper in there and you punch it. And it punches out. So it's a hole punch. And it also punches out these cute little shapes. And this one's all about nature. There's like a bunny rabbit in here and a balloon. And there's a whale and some grass in the tree and a flower. And to get it out, you just press on it and it pops out. Which I thought was kind of cool. But they don't make this anymore. This is vintage stuff right here. And I got it at the bins. If they had sold it, it would have been $14.99 in retail. But because I got it in the bins, it didn't cost me $14.99. So I got that. Oh yeah, somebody who went to a Disney, and then like I said, I buy some stuff just for me, and I found this, and it's really thick, and the strap is really long, and I like to do the crossbody thing, you know, with my bag. But this has like side pockets, and it's got the little front pockets, and it's got this nice big pocket. And then inside, it's nice and big and roomy with a couple of pockets on the side. And then there's a big pocket there, and then there's a big pocket back here. And I love these big things. And so this one's kind of cool. And this one was $5.99. It was, and I get 20% off of everything at Savers. So I did not pay $5.99 for it, but I got it. Yes, the bins, they sell by the pound. And then at one of the stores I went into, I found this, and it was for the price for this, it was fantastic. You guys don't, I sometimes do resale, but this is from Torrid, and Torrid is a big name in big girl clothing for like the younger generations. I have a lot of Torrid too, but they mostly cater to like the 15 to 25-year-olds, but because it's for big girls, the shirts are longer, you know, and they cover stuff.
Hello,
but I love these tie-dye patterns, so I grabbed it.
Jamie, this is Mark with Cox Business Support.
What can I say?
On a recorded line. Did I catch you at a bad time?
And then I was out, and Michelle.
Well, I was curious.
Michelle has.
Which phone number you were trying to forward and where you were
They've
trying
changed.
To forward it to, 'cause right now,
All right, most people know this. Michelle has MS.
0770 forwarding to itself.
And so she takes a lot of medication, and she gets confused. And I saw this, and I was like, perfect. It's got a spring at the bottom, so they pop up automatically. It's morning, noon, evening, and bedtime.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Sunday through Saturday. And I thought that would be perfect for her, because she's always forgetting if she's taken her pills and what pills she's taken. And I think this is perfect. So I got that for her, and I'm going to send it to her. Then I found these. These are from Kane Company. This is the Chalk It Now. And these are pastel chalks. 6 colors, high qualities. From Kane Company. Brand new, never been opened. I figured, what the hell? Grab those. So I got those. And I got this. It's a bag.
Right.
You guys know I love my bags. So let's see what's in here. It had Stampin' Up, and that was, you know, a draw for me because it's Stampin' Up. So let's see. We got a pair of hair scissors. Actually, those are not bad. Those are Conairs. I have to see if my daughter wants them. Then there's this. It's just a marker. Crap, throw it away. This is what I was going after. It was the Stampin' Up. This is Moonlight, the designer series. Some interesting papers in there.
Okay.
So this one contains Basic Gray, Blackberry Bliss, Hello Honey, Lost Lagoon, Sahara Sand, and Whisper White. So I grabbed that. And this was a little bonus that was in there.
Oh.
It's Christopher, Christmas Eve, Christmas Carol. It's like a little notebook with like handmade paper in it. And I thought that's kind of cute. I can take this off, take the paper out, and use that paper in something else. Because they're cute little papers.
What we do on our side is set up the ticket for the next time we're following.
So I got that.
With you. So, I mean, I can set it out as far as we need to. That's what I say. And I'll gladly give you the ticket numbers. That's not a problem.
And then there was this.
But I still need to set up the ticket to, pop up for us to look at. And
I don't need any more rubber stamps. Okay. So there was that one. And that one. And this one. And they're not used. But those aren't what I bought it for. The only reason that I got this bag was for these. 2 of them.
Yes.
If I can find these always sell in my shop. Okay? Let me explain it. So you guys have seen me use mine. It's over here someplace. Somewhere. Oh, I put them back over there. So these put lines when you're working, if you have like a plain piece of paper. But these are the pieces that go with them. So you put this down, and then you take this, and you stamp over it, and then you don't get the lines in a circle. Or you get the lines in an oval, or you get the lines in a heart, or you get the lines in a rectangle. So that you have these different shapes that you can get them in. And these sell really well for me. Because, it gives people variation. And so there were 2 of them in there. And I was like, holy crap. So I grabbed those. I didn't really want any of this stuff. I really just wanted these. But, I'll put these in. Maybe somebody else wants them. So then I found this. I cannot let a handmade item go. I saw this. It's handmade, and I got it at the Goodwill. I did not pay $7.99 for it. I love the colors. But it's handmade. I'm going to have to replace this because that's way too short. But the idea is that, you can use it to tie the bag. But that's way too short. It needs to be much longer. But handmade and adorable. And I was just like, that is so stinking cute. And it's a nice size bag, and it's got a decent handle on it. So I can use this for shopping and stuff. So I figured, I'll take it because I don't want something that's handmade to go to the dump. I just don't. So got that. And then I saw this and I thought it was kind of cute. Like, it's a makeup bag, but it's cute. Like maybe somebody could put like their colored pencils in it or something. So I grabbed that. And then, now I did have a little bit of luxury here because like I saw a couple of big reds while I was out there and I left them on the shelf because I have 3 of them right now in stock. And so taking up that valuable real estate in the little car, and I took the Troll, not Pepper, it's kind of difficult. But I did find this, which is the system converter, and I did not pay the full price on these. These sell for 15 to 20 bucks. And I sell them for 8 to 10, I think. But I paid a little less than that for it. So for me, this is a good investment, and we can use it. And if you don't know what this is, if you know what the big red machine is, that's the die cutting machine where you push the pressure down on it. And this converts it over so that you can use these thinner ones and not the big cartridge dies. And then in one of the shops, I found this. This is actually a Stampin' Up! Card kit. This one is the Calligraphy Essentials project kit. So it makes something. Cards, I believe. But it's got all the stuff in it that you need to do that. So I grabbed that. Okay, so everybody remembers that handle at the beginning? I got one more set for that. And then, crap, this one busted open and fell all over the place. Let me grab it. Stupid bag. Okay. It's the exact same dimensions as the bottom of the bag. So when I pulled it up, it popped out. Let me grab the rest of these out of here. And put them back in the case. Back in the case. So then I have these. Again, these are discontinued. And other than this one, these don't really look like they've been used. And that one is like boughs on a Christmas tree with like Christmas lights. Swirls, paisleys. I don't know. Animals of some kind. Some flowers, some leaves. This is cats. Anyway, and then I got the handle, which is circles on the handle. And I got a full complement of colors for this one as well. These are all the different colors. And you take these and they hook into right here in the handle before you put these roller pieces in. You put this ink thing, there's a little stick right there, and you put this in and you open it and it goes in underneath here and latches in, and then it continuously puts ink on the roller as you're rolling it. So we got those, and this is like elegant eggplant, always artichoke, summer sun. So it's all different colors. And so I got all of that. Stupid bag. All right. So while I was at the Creative Reuse, there were a few things other than that I got. I did get some of these, and the reason that I got these was because somebody had requested a new color palette in blacks and grays and whites. So I grabbed these. This one I just liked. But I grabbed these so that I have some other ones too that I've recently got. So I'm going to be coming out with a new curated fiber set in blacks and grays and silvers. And yeah, because somebody requested that. Okay. So then one of the stores that I went to, These were on the shelf. There were 3 of them, but I left the other one because it didn't work. My daughter is a fan of The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I checked to see what these are selling for. And the price that I got them for was a hell of a deal. This one is a music box, and it works. This one is just the piece, but it's numbered, and it's a low number. So I grabbed that one for her, and I left the other one on the shelf. Boy, you put these on the counter. All right, let's grab a couple more bags. All right. Whoa, heavy. All right. All right, so I was at the Goodwill, and they do these grab bag things. So I grabbed the grab bag. Look at the size of that block. It is 6.5 by 4.5. Huge block. And then there were 2 other blocks in there, and there was a scrub pad. These are always hit or miss if they're going to be just trashed. This one's not bad. This one is not bad. I bet you I could probably get that one clean. And then some actual stamp cleaner. And then, you know, as a gift, there were more stamps in there. And those are Can Company. This is Can Company. No, those are Inkadinkadoo's. That's Inkadinkadoo. This one is TPC. It's graduation. This one is kind of like making greeting cards. It's a shower. You're invited. Please join us. Time to celebrate. Birthday bash. And it's got the event date, time, and everything. So card makers will love that one. This is a wedding one. And look at this one. Look at the swirls and stuff. How cute, right? So I got all of that stuff in a bag. I like bags. Bags are good. What else? Oh my God. All right. So I found some white to go with that black and white set. Shaylee didn't take it home. I'm going to have to send this over with her brother when he comes over. She has a little pink kitty, pink and white spotted kitty that she's had since she was a baby. Went on the trip with us. And she found this, and she said it looked like Kitty had a baby. So we got it. Okay, what else? Okay. So I found a couple of sets. This is chalk pastels, and this one is an oil pastel set. They're in good shape. And this is a basic set. It's only 12 pieces, but it's a good starter set. So I grabbed those. Then I found these, which apparently originally sold for $3.99. And they're file folders, but they're like a different size than the ones I have. But they're really cute. And this one actually had a bonus sticker in it. So I grabbed those. I found this stencil. I got this, which is a stamp and die. You make the world a great place. There's no one quite like you. You're extraordinary. Big hugs. You have a heart of gold. But stamps and dies. So I thought that would sell. Then I saw this, floral note cards with envelopes. These are the ones that we used to get when we were kids. You remember, like, we'd go to camp our moms would like buy us these, and you'd write on it, and then you'd seal it and fill it out on the back and send it home. I know it looks like a Beanie Baby, but I grabbed those and I thought, you know, they're kind of cute. And there's a couple of sets in there, different colors. Mostly the yellow ones are left, but there's a couple of different ones. And I can make my money back just by selling the sets, you know. So I grabbed those. Then I found this. You guys have heard me talk about this a few times. I've talked about these a couple of different times. And I see them from time to time, but they're never functional. They're missing their cords. The battery compartments are crapped. This one is actually in good shape. So I grabbed it. This is a P-Touch machine. It currently has white laminated in it, so we'll work with that. But let me go ahead and open this so you guys can see. So you buy these little cartridges, okay? And these can be very inexpensive, and they can be very expensive. If you buy them, you can buy these cartridges off of like Temu and stuff. They sell them for like $1, $1.50 a piece. But you turn this puppy on. You print.
Hi, this is Mike with Cox Business Support calling for.
It cuts it, and you have on the back, you can open this up. And you can get this paper in anything. You can get it in matte, you can get it in laminate, you can get it colored, you can get it. You can even change the text style on these. But it prints these little labels, which I think is cool. But this one had its plug and everything, and it worked. And for the price, I can actually make money on this one. It does work with a plug or batteries. It does not have batteries in it right now. But yeah, kind of cool. So yeah, it has different couple of different texts that you can use and things like that, and there's symbols and different sub menus, and these are just fantastic for labeling things around your house, or you know, putting labels on pages or sentiments or whatever. You know, they're great. I love them. I have mine and I use it all the time. What else? Okay, so I bought a set of these. These sell for me, these loom, these nitty looms, the Nifty Knitters. This has all 3 sizes in it, and it comes in the bag was a couple of different like books on different things that you can make, and it had the handle, you know, the handles were on it, and so it's in good shape. So I figured, you know, I'll grab that because I can sell it. They sell for me. What can I say? Then I found this, and it's from the Disney store, and it's my size, and it's my ear. So I grabbed that. And then I found this, which I'm pretty sure is a pajama, but I don't care because I think it would look cute with a pair of leggings. So I got that. Like I said, I bought some stuff for me. Then I found a pair of pants. These are resale though. These are high end, and that's going to be a resale item. I found a sweater. This is from Ultratex, and it's very thin. You know, it's designed to be very thin, but it still like has that sweater look. That's going to go into stitch up, thread up, thread up. That's the place. This again is another pair of Live Actives capri length, but these are these are the ones that you can't see through. you know? Yes. And I got another pair, and this one has the pocket on the side of it, and it has the flare in the leg. Again, this stuff goes to thread up. See, I buy two things at once when I'm on the road. I found these, and these are Land's Ends, and they're in good shape. They look practically brand new. I'll just clean them up a little bit. They're suede, and I have some suede cleaner that'll take this little smudge off, and the insteps are in good shape, and they're Land's End. So again, these are going to go to thread up. Oh my goodness, here we go. So y'all know I love to play games. Death at a Dive Bar. This is from the Hunt Killer Mysteries. This is an easy one. If you don't know, I do some of these murder mysteries. I do them online with groups. We FaceTime and do them. Pick Your Poison and After Dark edition. Pick Your Poison After Dark is an adult party game where you anonymously answer would you rather questions that are set up by your friends. When everyone reveals which scenario they would rather do, you'll find out who agrees with you and, well, who's sicker than you are. Then I found this, which is a starter set of Cards Against Humanity. This is the base set, and these sell for $25 a set. And I picked it up for about $4.50, and I'm going to resell this on eBay. Yes, because I can. I found this, How to Be a Pirate. My last pirate journal sold. It went over really well. So I'm going to make, they've asked if I will make another one for their next fundraiser. So I decided this would be a cute way of doing it. So I'm going to do this one. I found this, which is from Glitz. And it's a 6x6 paper pad in a really cool color scheme. So I grabbed that. I found this. Now, let me get these out of the way real quick. So this is just like a checkbook wallet, but I thought it would be cute to make a little like traveler's notebook out of it kind of thing. It's got two little pockets on the inside, and it's got plenty of room to make a little thing. And this is, it's got like dragonflies on it and stuff, and I thought that was cute. So I grabbed it. What the hell, right? Is there anything else in this bag? Holy crap. Oh, yeah, one more thing. And then I don't do a lot of this stuff, but I found this doily, and I really liked it, and I thought it would look cool on the spine of a book. So I grabbed it. What the hell, right? What else? Something fell on the floor over here. Oh, yes, this one. I'm bored out of my mind. I want to do something that's not parent approved. A card game for mischief makers. This is a kid's game. My grandkids love to play these things. So I get them. I also found this. Now, I have a pair of shoes that looks like this. And they have died a painful, painful death. And it's kind of sad. And I have been looking for the shoes everywhere, but I found the bag. Yes, it doesn't give you camel toe and it doesn't give you moose butt. Exactly. So I found this. Isn't he cute? Isn't he adorable? And there's a little bit of Velcro on the back. And there's like a little hidden pocket right there in his face. See that? A little hidden pocket. And then there's a pocket there, and then the big pocket, and there's a pocket on the inside too. And this is also got the long strap. It's a little canvas tote. I thought it was cuter than crap, so I had to get it. All right. I'm finally starting to run out of stuff. I got to tell you, though, there's like 6 more bags in the garage, but there's stuff that's duplicate. So I found this, which is a knitting bag. You put your yarn inside there, and then it comes up through the top. And you zip it up, and that way you can, carry your knitting along with you. or your crochet, whatever. I found these and I thought that they would be cute for giveaways. So I grabbed a bunch of these. Let's see, what else did I get? I found a stack of stickers. You guys know I love stickers, but this has got some holiday ones in it. And I love to do these for giveaways, you know. So I grabbed those. I got a couple of these. I got 3 and 5, and I think I have 1 and 2, so I'm still missing 4. These are quotes. This one's all religion. This one's lyric quotes. So they're like song quotes. So little sections out of songs and stuff. And I love having them for when I want, you know, when I'm looking for something specific to put on like a card or something. They're fantastic for that. So at the NPC, I got NPS, I got these. I'm gonna open them real quick. These are craft paper labels, but they're stickers. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 different designs. And I sell these in the shop, but I also use these for giveaways when people order stuff from the shop sometimes. But mostly for that, I do these little ones that I get from Temu. But, you know, sometimes I'll put some of these in there. But I thought, you know, these are kind of cool. And I'm thinking, and I do like 20 of them for $1. Like you get 20 labels for $1, something like that. So for this one, that would be 5 of each. But I grabbed a couple of those. Got those. Oh, more receipts. Got to get those receipts put together. There we go. Now, I found this at the NPS. This is a Speedball, and it is a dip pen with ink. Some of the ladies are getting into the dip penning, you know, so we got those. I found these. These are like treat bags, but look, they have a big circle inside in the center of them, and I thought that would be cool to play with. So we got those. And then I found this, which is from Martha Stewart, and it's an accordion journal. And I found these. I'm pretty sure they're all here. The package is shit, but you know, I'm pretty sure they're all here. But this is all Timmy. This is Tim Holtz. They're Timmy words. So I found a whole set of these. The package is torn to crap and just garbage. I'll have to rebag that, get that fixed. And then I found this. And I didn't know how this would work. Yes, it's a cat-proof knitting yarn, you know. This is from Pretty Pink Posh, and these are supposed to be card dies, but I look at them more as like pockets, you know, like swoop top pockets, and you can glue them into your journals and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to grab that and we'll see. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. The other thing I found, though, were these. This is Timmy. This is collage paper. This it's both of them are archives. So there's, I think, 6 or 8 sheets of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 sheets, apparently. 30 pieces, it says, that is what's in there. So I imagine it's probably 2 of each. But I grabbed those. And this was my big score. This is an Evolutions motor, it hooks onto the side of your hand crank machines and turns your hand crank machine into a powered machine. Now, I have to see which machines this fits, but I'm pretty sure it fits on, I know it fits on the Evolution. I think it fits on a Cuttlebug, and I think it fits on the Big Shots. Okay. So you have a power cord, you have a converter, and then you have the base unit. And this is the on-off switch. So I was teaching my granddaughter, I was like, when you open the package, if this is still intact and these are still on, this 99% of the time has never been touched. So it is a motor, and it turns the cranks on die cutting machines. Fabulous part of this. I got these at the bin shop. So I have a few of them. So I'm going to test them. Even if half of them don't work, I still got a deal on these. So yeah, they're brand new. They were selling them for $3.99 in their liquidation, right? And truth is that these sell for $50 to $60. So if they work, good deal. And the last store I went to, for 10 cents, I got this big old bag. This bag is huge. It's like a yard by like 2 feet. So this was the last thrift store I went to. And, well, let me show you what I found at the Dollar Tree first. Because I went to the Dollar Tree to get something Excedrin. And they had these. And, like, we have the coasters, but I hadn't seen these. These are bookmarks. So I grabbed a bunch of them because I thought, I haven't seen them. And you ladies might enjoy, doing this if you want to see if you want to do diamond painting. But here's the thing. Most of these gems are just flat colors. These ones are sparkly. The gems are silver backed. So they have that more jewel look to them. So I grabbed a bunch of those. And I found these. And I'm always looking for small containers for stuff. And get that open. Of course, I pull out the one that's, the first one I pull out is the one that's broken, right? Here we go. So I found these, and they're just little boxes. And, like I'm always looking for stuff for like this to put it in. So these little boxes are perfect for that. They're just cute little boxes, and they snap together and snap open. So I thought these would be cool for, little things. So I got a bag of those. Not really for reselling, but, And I got a few more of those things. Just a few more. Yeah, so I grabbed a couple of those because I thought, you guys might like that. See, that's the thing. You can't find them in your Dollar Tree, So I get this. Now, I found this, and, okay, it's a baby thing, but it's all the pieces and parts. So I thought we could remake this because it's got all the hardware and everything. So I thought it's a project. We could remake this. It wasn't that expensive. It was $4.99 and the white tags were half off. So $2.50 for this is what I paid. It's a wind chime. So I figured we can remake it. we'll make it into something else as a project. That'll be fun. And what else? So then I found this bag there. And I don't know what's in it, but it says Heidi Swapp, and it had washi tape. Yeah, that was it. That's all I needed to have, washi tape. Sold! I know, I'm so terrible. Okay. So what do we got? So we have these, which are like little sticky pads, but they're like, you know, thought ideas, thought bubbles. And then this one, which says lift, pull, open, info, story inside. That's kind of cool. Some little tiny tags. Those are cute. Some kind of little flag things. Some more of those little taggy things. Some more little flaggies. Some alphas. Some different taggies. More taggies. This is stickers. Book of stickers. Hasn't even been opened. 3 rolls of washi tape. This one's like a blue clouds kind of. This one says things like notable, happiness, like definitions. And then these little hearts. That's cute. This is the Happy Planner. Some tabs for that. Heidi Swapp. This is like a little time ticket thing that you can stick. It's sticky on one side. It's like a pad. That you can stick on stuff that you need. These are some more Heidi Swapps. There's some tabs, some little lines, some more writing. Oh, that is one of those spin wheel things from Heidi Swapp. That's little cards and little envelopes, some little happy faces and stuff. Look at those. Oh my God, little jewels. Like little, that looks like it's like, yeah, those are cards, but they look like little cell phones. There's some more alphas in here, some more thought bubbles in here. And then there's this. These are like map pieces. This is also Heidi Swapp. And it's called, I don't know, Stamp Society. But it's got like planes and roses and stuff. So it's for traveling. So it's all travel themed. And I was getting ready to leave. And we were walking out of the store. And the last section in the store that we hadn't seen was like where they have, you know, where they have like hair ties and lotion and shampoos and stuff. And I saw this and I went, oh, there's got to be more. And there was. I found another one in the bags. So these are Nuvos. This one is Nuvo Chalk Mousse. Not opened. Chalk Mousse. Not opened. This one is the Embellishment Mousse. It's like a pinky pearl. Not opened. This one is Embellishment Mousse. This one is the silver. It's metallic mousse. Not open. They thought this was makeup. That's why they put it where they put it. And that's why they only charged what they charged for it. Because, you know. So this is expanding mousse. So it texts, when you put it on, it gives you a 3D effect. And this is the black one. Not open. This one is expanding again. This is the kind of the purpley silver one. Not open. Another chalk in the mint green. Not open. Another embellished one. This one is, I don't have the color on here. I can't see the colors. I'm sure it's there someplace. I just can't read it because I'm blind as a bat. But this one is the embellished mousse. Not open. And let's get the lid on straight. And the last one is the chalk one. Again, this is in a darker purplish, kind of a mauvey purple color. Again, not opened. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the chalks in the pastels. 2 expanding and 3 embellishments. The embellishments are all metallics, and the expandings are 1 metallic, 1 flat black. So I got all of those. And there's other stuff that I haven't shown you guys, and I'm not going to show you because it's for later. But an hour and 35 minutes later, that was my haul. That was my adventure, guys. I am going to pop out of here because I got to get this stuff together. Oh, I also bought these too at the 99, the Dollar Tree. Halloween chocolate sandwich cookies. But I got a whole bunch of stuff, and I got to get all of this stuff cleaned up and get it organized and get it put away and decide what's going to go in the shop and what's going to go in the sale. And as always on this one, and I give you 24 hours to do so. If there's something in here that you saw that you were like, I need that, hit me up and make me an offer before I get it put in the shop or I get it, put into the sale. I'm always open to offers, guys. So that's it. That was my adventure. Oh, Tammy, you ain't seen nothing yet. This was a quick one. I have gone on Scaventure where you can't fit another thing in my car and I can't see through the rear view mirror. This was a short one because I already have a lot of stuff, so I didn't need a lot. But when I got out there was stuff and I had to get it. And, I can't let these poor little craft supplies go to the trash. I can't. So the sale is, let's talk about that. When is the sale? We are in September. It's going to be Sunday. So it's a week from tomorrow. Yes, a week from tomorrow. I will be on for Mixed Media tonight, I believe. Look for the announcement. If it comes up, we'll go on. If not, it's because I'm still dragging my butt, guys. I got an average of about 5 hours of sleep every night that I was on the road, and I am exhausted. Matter of fact, just before I went live, I told Hubbard, I said, I'm going to take a friggin' nap. So tomorrow's the last day of the month, and then we're going to move on to September. We got a lot of stuff going on in September. Don't forget, in September, we're starting the Monday Mixed Media Mini Morsels. And then on the 7th, we're going to have the sale. I've got 2 videos coming out for the first week. We're going to do a tab paperclip one, which is fantastic. And then we're going to be doing a beginner's project, which is a layered pocket made from junk mail. I'll also be announcing I'm going to be announcing it tomorrow because it's the last day of the month. What next month's Project 25 challenges. And so we got a lot of stuff going on. Shaylee and I had a great time, and we made it home in one piece, and that's really all that matters. Mom, probably done for the season, and I probably won't go back out again until spring. But my next trip is going to be featuring Dude. He's going with me. If we can work it into the schedule. He's just very busy. He's a very busy, very, very busy boy with school and everything else. So he goes to a specialized school for performing arts. So he does ballroom dancing and chorus, and he's getting into the jazz club, the jazz vocal club, and he wants to get into the performing arts as far as like the plays and stuff. He wants to get into that, and the improv class. He wants to do that too. So he's always doing all of that stuff. So and like last summer, I didn't take him anywhere because he went to New York to sing at Madison Square Garden and in a national competition. And this last summer, he didn't go anywhere with me because he had something that he was doing for the arts club over the summer. And so he was very tied up in that. So we're trying to get it locked in for next summer. So yeah, probably not going to be doing any more trips this season. Probably not till next season. I've been on 4 this season, so. And I'm done. I'm tired. I'm done. I need to take 6 months to rest. So, hi, Miss Janie. So if you're new here and I have not yet offended you, give me the opportunity. Hit the subscribe button. I'll get to it eventually. I will offend you. I offend everybody. Don't forget, if you want information on when I'm going on a scavenger, when I'm going to be out of town, that type of stuff. If you want to know if I've got free classes coming up, if I've got beginners projects, any of that type of stuff, you can get all that information both on the YouTube channel and over on my Facebook group. You can join my Facebook group, become part of our community over there. Also, you can find out about ways that you can support the channel or that you can pick up some free stuff. And you can do all of that by clicking on the more in the description below and following the links. It's all Steffi's fault. You slept in, so it's all Steffi's fault. So that's it. That's all I've got. Again, as I said in the beginning, earlier, if there's something that you saw in this adventure that you're interested in, if you want to make me an offer, I always accept those. I consider them. So you can go ahead and send me an email or a text, or IM, instant message, and I will consider your offer. That's it. That's all I have. Until I see you again, stay hydrated, stay cool, and stay well, my friends. Bye.